Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad you all can join us today, and it's a pleasure being here. I want to thank Kennedy Johnson for allowing us to have this opportunity. She created the great nonprofit For the Black Kid Inc. And today we're going to continue our financial literacy series with the last presentation of the series. It's investing for the first time. So we talked about savings, we talked about credit, we talked about making the most out of your taxes with our accountant, Mark Duperval. And now we're going to discuss investing for the first time. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. This report is intended to illustrate and to provide information and education regarding planning ideas and concepts that may be of benefit to you. The purpose of of this report is to provide education on accepted financial planning concepts and to illustrate ways that these concepts may improve or enhance your current situation or future plans. All right, so investing. If you don't know too much about it, you may be wondering what is investing. I hear so much about it. I see it on TV. I see it on social media. I see it everywhere, but I don't know anything about it. You may also have some common myths or misunderstandings about investing, and hopefully we can dispel those myths. Maybe you could turn those myths into not truths and get you some more understanding around the topic of investing. So I know one I hear a lot is you need to have a lot of money. That is not true at all. I've seen some people start off investing with $50. It could be something even smaller than that. A lot of the stocks investments out there are less than $50 as well. We can start off with. Robinhood is an app that's very popular now. They actually give you a free stock when you first open an account. So that's something to keep in mind. But no, you do not need to have a lot of money. If you remember from our first series, savings, once you establish that savings account, once you establish that that foundation, then we can start moving to investing and opening an investing account. So once you have that savings budget, the savings plan in place, then you have enough money to invest. And the money that you took from the money that you set aside for savings every month or every year, now go ahead and start putting that money into an investment account. No, you do not need to have a lot of money. Investing is too complicated. That also is not true. Honestly, it's not complicated at all. And hopefully we can lay it out for you and let you know why it's not complicated. People, Wall Street, and the banks, they want to make it seem complicated, and it can get complicated. But the foundation, the ones and twos of investing is not complicated at all, and they do that for a reason to have them charge you. You know, if you want someone just to do it for you, say, "Hey, oh, it's too complicated. I don't understand it. Just do this for me," and then they'll charge you. They make the money off that. So that is a method that they use. But investing, opening an account, starting investing in your first stock, your first account, it's not complicated at all. It's too risky. You know what's too risky? Not investing. So that is not true at all. It's not risky at all, and I will show you why. The stock market tends to go up over time. It can go down as well, but if you look at a chart over time, you will see that investing is not risky and it's actually for your benefit, and that you can get rid of a lot of the risk when it comes to investing. You can do your research, reach out to professionals like myself, or maybe someone in your family or friends, and they can help you just get rid of the risk and diversify, which is something that we'll talk about later. Diversification. Savings accounts are better. That also is not true. As you may have remembered from our first series, savings, the interest rate, the money that you're making in the savings account is close to nothing. It's like 0.5%. When you're investing, the annual average rate of return, the annual average interest rate that you're getting on your money is 8%. So 7.5% more money you're making on on your investing account than your savings account. So savings accounts are not better at all. They are more liquid, meaning that you can access your savings account much quicker than you can access your money in your investment account. However, that's why we said in the first series in the same establish savings, you want to make sure that your savings account is locked tight. That is the first step to building wealth, building having a good financial plan for your life. Once that savings account is established, then we're going to move over to the why invest? Remember interest rates and inflation? We talked about that in our first series as well. Well, uh, interest rates is how much money you earn on your money, how much money you earn, rate of return, like I mentioned before. An average return on your investments, like stocks, would be around 7 to 8%. And inflation is how much less your dollar is worth. So a report came out recently that November, a year from 2020 November to 2021 November, inflation was around 6%. What does this mean? That means that if you had $100 last November and you just put it in the bank, in your savings account, your checkings account, you put it under your mattress, in your shoebox, wherever you would have kept that money, um, it would now be worth $94. So inflation for November was 6%. If you did not do anything with that $100 can now buy as many goods as $94. It's not $100 anymore because of inflation. You may realize that things are getting a lot more expensive. Gas is getting expensive. Groceries are getting expensive. Cars are getting expensive. Just everyday goods are getting expensive, and that's due to inflation. So why would you invest? Well, like I mentioned as well, uh, investing your investment account, if you would have earned 7% on your investments, then your $100 from last year would be worth 107, which you still maintain your purchasing power, is what we call it, which beats inflation, your purchasing power. So you'll still be able to buy that same amount of goods from last year to this year. You want to control over the way you live in the future. A lot of people, they save for their future, maybe future goals, for a down payment on a house, maybe a down payment on a car, maybe down payment on a car, a house, maybe the way you want to live in retirement. You want control over the way you live. And the only way to do that is to plan today. And if you can plan today and your 60-year-old self, your 50-year-old self, your 40-year-old self, your 30-year-old self, even maybe your 20-year-old self will thank you for taking the steps today. And that's why you want to invest, because you want control over the way you live in the future. And you want to fund the future expenses and lifestyles. There are people who make a certain amount of money today because they're working. And once they stop working, they want to be able to maintain that same lifestyle. The only way to do that is to have the same amount of purchasing power or the same amount of money you can live off of. So if you're living off 50K a year while you're working, or 60K or 70K or whatever, 40K a year, you want to you want to maintain that same lifestyle while you're retired, while you're old. And the only way to do that is to invest so your money can grow. Like I mentioned, not investing is more risky than investing. You want to know why? Let's find out. The cost of not investing, it does cost you. So right now we have a chart that's titled "The Value of Starting Early." So for example, $5,000 is invested each year just for 10 years. Just $5,000 for 10 years, and then you let it grow. No additional contributions. So what's that? $50,000, and the interest rate they're earning, the annual return that they're earning on their money is 11%. So we have investor A, B, C, and D. Investor A started at the age of 25, invested for 10 years up until they're 35, and then that's it. They were done. Well, you see, investor A ended up with $787,000. That is a really good life. That is a really good retirement. They can do a lot of things in their retirement, knock off things off their bucket list, travel. They're going to have so much free time, and they're going to have so much money because they invested early. Well, what if they would have started 10 years later? So from age 25 to 35, they invested. What if they just would have started from age 35 to 45? That same amount of money, that same amount of time, and that same amount of return resulted in $364,000, or roughly around $365,000. So less than half of the money was lost because they did not start investing 10 years early. So right there, you see just the power of time and the power of starting early. Investor C started at 45. You see even less, 168. And then investor D started at 55 to 65, ended up with $83,000. Now, I don't know who is watching this video, but do not let this video stop you from investing. Do not become discouraged from investing. It's the best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time to start is today. So that's something that I want you to understand. If you don't have an investments, just open one today. It's very simple. And I am here to assist you with opening it today, and hopefully you will understand by the end of this video. But go ahead and start investing because it does cost you to not invest. How do I start? Well, once you graduate college, you start that job. Maybe you're working right now. You may want to contact HR, or you may want to reach out and see, does your job have retirement plans? A lot of jobs have retirement plans called 401ks. They also may have something like a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA or traditional IRAs where you can contribute. I am very, very, very favorable. These are very favorable because it comes right out of your check, meaning you don't even see it. Meaning once you get paid every 2 weeks, the first and the 15th, however you get paid, whatever your pay schedule, whatever you see, whatever enters your bank account, that's all you have. And they already took it out. So you don't even have to look at it. And they make it very hard for you to access that money as well, which is good because you want that money for your future self. So if you have a job and you're starting you have a 401k or you don't have one, go ahead and contact your HR, contact whoever's in charge of the benefits, and see if you can start your retirement plan there. If you don't have one, if your job doesn't offer one or you're not working right now, you can open up an IRA online for free. And I would prefer that you open up a Roth IRA compared to a traditional IRA. The only difference between those two is before tax dollars and after tax dollars. A Roth IRA is after tax dollars, meaning once you get your check, then you have to take money from your check since it's already been taxed, everything's been taken out, and you're going to have to contribute to that Roth IRA. Unless you have a traditional IRA where I mentioned it's taken out before they tax your check, it's already taken out your check. That is an option as well. But for starters, for people opening up their first account, Roth IRAs are the ones I recommend the most. There's a lot of programs, there's a lot of accounts, websites where you can open up free IRAs. Like I mentioned, Robinhood is very a favorite right now, but that's one. There are some I recommend over Robinhood. Accounts like Fidelity, accounts like TD Ameritrade is one that I personally use and one that I recommend. They have a lot of educational videos on there, and they have tools where they can help you. Also, you can call someone at any of these companies if you want to open an account. TD Ameritrade is good. Robinhood, excuse me, is pretty good. E-Trade is decent, and there's a couple more, but those are the three that I would recommend because they have educational videos as well, and they're very user friendly for beginners. Seek assistance, your financial advisor or family member. A lot of financial advisors, they do consultations for free. I am one as well. You have my contact information. If not, I will provide it at the end, or you can always reach out to Kennedy and I can answer any questions you may have. Maybe you have someone in your family member who is good with money. Maybe someone who who has been working a while, and they may be able to answer questions. Feel free to reach out. The only way you're going to gain knowledge is if you seek to learn. So we are here to help. And you can do a simple Google search. If you want to reach out to me, if you don't want to reach out to a family member, a simple Google search, financial advisor near me, you can set up a call, set up a time to meet with them, and they will assist you. Some will offer free consultations. So don't call the first one you see, call, a couple just to see what they can offer you. So once you open that account, if you go to TD Ameritrade, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, once you go to these companies, the account is open. Now what? Well, you have to fund it, which is very easy. It's like funding a banking account. And then you're going to buy investments. Some of the most common investments are stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and REITs. And you want to buy just a little bit of different things. You don't want to have all your money in stocks because if stocks go down, well, then all of your money is going to go down. And we call that diversification. So you want to diversify your investment account and make sure that your money is safe. And a financial advisor will help you diversify. Or wherever you set up your investment account, like I mentioned, TD Ameritrade is very good. They have videos that will help you diversify and can show you how much you can afford to diversify. So stocks are the most common investment tool out there. Stocks are simply they're also called shares, which means they're a percentage of the company. Once you buy a stock, you're a part owner of that company. It sounds very cool, and it's honestly the truth. A lot of people they have stocks. Companies they make decisions on who the CEO is, who the president is, who their board is. Well, they have to go to those stock owners to finalize those decisions. So if you have a stock in, let's say, Apple, you have a choice in who will be the next board of director. That's pretty cool, right? Um, Apple is the stock I chose right here. This is what we call the ticker, AAPL, and that is just how you identify certain stocks. Apple is the largest company and the most common stock out there right now, and it's a very good one as well. So Apple is a stock that you could buy. Bonds are fixed income. They don't go up and down as much as stocks, but that's really good because you want to diversify, like I mentioned. So when stocks are down, bonds typically they may go up in the opposite direction. So when stocks are up, bonds kind of go down, vice versa. So you want to diversify. Mutual funds. Now, mutual funds are a little bit different, and they're a fairly new investment tool. Mutual funds is a basket of stocks. So if you were to purchase an Apple stock, you only have that one Apple share. But if you were to purchase one mutual fund, then you have a variety of stocks in there. You may have some stocks such as Apple or Google or Facebook, which are some of the top tech stocks. So mutual funds are an easy way to diversify and a great way to diversify as well. The ticker that I have right here is the ticker for the Fidelity S&P 500. The S&P 500 is just a mixture of 500 of the largest stocks. So that is a great tool and an easy way for you to diversify. You can buy mutual funds for stocks. You can buy mutual funds for bonds. You can buy mutual funds for real estate, all types of different mutual funds. ETFs are the same thing as mutual funds, but they cost less, and they cost less. So ETFs are the same basket of stocks and the same. They offer that same diversification that you'll get from a mutual fund, but they cost less. So ETFs is another example of an investment tool that will allow you to diversify. And REITs. So REITs are just offer the same diversification, but is more so into real estate. So instead of buying just one real estate property, if you can't, afford to purchase or invest in a real estate property, you can purchase a REIT, and a REIT will allow you to take advantage of the real estate growth that we're experiencing right now, or some of the real estate diversification that you want to put in your investment account. So VNQ is the ticker for the best performing REIT out right now. So REITs, ETFs, mutual funds, bonds, and stocks are some of the things that are held in your everyday investment account. I want you to understand that investing, it doesn't happen overnight. Like I mentioned earlier, the best day to start investing was yesterday. The second best day is today. Don't think of this as a get rich quick scheme, because it's not. And no one's gotten rich overnight from just investing in stocks. It takes time, and look at it, like I mentioned, look at it as a savings account. And that savings account just earning more money every day, every month, every year, over time. And before you know it, your money's going to start earning money in itself. That's why you want to treat it like a savings account. If you want practice, you're new to investing, you're scared to put your real money, your hard-earned money in your investment account. Well, there are methods for you to practice and for you to get familiar with the stock market and for you to get familiar with how the stock market works, the ups and downs of the stocks, some of the language of the stocks and the stock market. What does it mean for the market to be up, down, earnings? What does that mean? Well, like I mentioned, TD Ameritrade is a tool that I use, and they have a platform for you. And anyone, once you make a TD Ameritrade account, anyone can participate in this. You can trade fake money. So you can invest $100,000 of money into different stocks, different investments, and you can see which one performs the best over time. So that is a great way to practice. We have Stephen Curry here. He just broke his 3-point record. He became the greatest shooter. Well, he was already the greatest shooter in many eyes, but it's put pen to paper and it's actually in the history books now. It didn't happen overnight. He practiced, practiced, practiced. Nothing comes easy. Nothing happens overnight. And the same thing with investing. Investopedia Stock Simulator is another great tool. Investopedia is almost like a library, a dictionary of all the finance words out there. And Investopedia is something that if you want to learn more about just the verbiage, the language, how everyday stock market people talk, Investopedia is a great site. Also, Investopedia Stock Simulator allows you to trade $100,000 as well. One other great tool is How the Market Works, which also allows you to trade $100,000. All of these that I mentioned, all of these tools are free. So you get $100,000 fake dollars for free, and you can invest it, go crazy, do whatever you want. Once you start making money, you get the hang of it. Understand that it's still fake money, but you can possibly put your real dollars to work. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Please reach out to me at devinsaund@gmail.com. I am here to help you open up your first account, maybe give you some tips and ideas on what investments I think are best. I am here to help everyone in our community. I want this information to get out, and I think this is information that is vital. Probably wasn't taught in all schools, definitely wasn't taught in my school. So it's just information that everyone should know and something that everyone should be participating in, no matter what age. Also, you have to be 18 years or older to open up an account, to open up an IRA or 401k. Once you start working, you have to be 18 years or older. If you're not, everyone 18 years and younger can make accounts on Investopedia Stock Simulator and how the market works. 18 years or younger, they can start investing with fake money and they can get an idea of how the stock market works. So that's a great way for younger kids, if you haven't graduated high school yet, to start practicing on how the stock market works and what investing is. This is a link down here. It's Marcus.com is one of Goldman's products. They have a great introductory. They have articles for what is investing, different types of investments, what to be on the lookout for in investments. So if you just go to the resources and then you go to investing, you will see a lot of great articles that you can reference. Again, I want to thank you so much for coming in to our how to start investing presentation today. And again, feel free to reach out to myself or Kennedy if you have any questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.